Okay, come on. Don't put my leg. Off. Yo, keep the faith, never lose hope. What's going on, faithful? We are live on all major platforms YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And we're back with a whole fun filled episode with the Faithful Empire. All right. Of course, you got your boy Ryan here. Of course, I got the faithful ones on the panel with me. All right. You got Ron, Maverick, Paul, and Ashley. What's going on, fellas? What's going on, guys?
Yo, what up, man?
What's up? What's up?
Nice to see you guys.
On from the start for a change. Yes, gentlemen, I've made it from the start.
There you go, Paul.
Yeah, so happy to be here, bud. So happy to be here, man. Really am. Yeah, like I was saying to the fellows before we came on live, Nick W won't be here tonight. He has an issue he's dealing with right now, personal issue. So I told him just go rest up, do your thing, man. All right, we'll see you next weekend. No problem, man. All right. So okay, no problem. But he said he'll be watching. So he said he'll be watching. So
Stay strong, buddy. I'll see you soon. Hopefully at practice next week.
Don't beat him up too much now, Ashley, okay?
Hey, no, I'm on his side. He's a baller. I can't believe he plays with what he's got. Like, what a hero.
Yeah, I mean, I knew about that already. And that's what I said before we came on, the personal conversation we had. I knew about it. And that's why I don't want to go into it unless he wants to bring it up. That's up to him. I don't go, nobody's personal business. I don't go into it unless they want to bring it up themselves. That's where I am. So, okay, first of all, I know we got news, and I know you guys don't want to talk about Jimmy G. I know you don't want to, but you remind me bringing one thing up because I just saw it actually about over an hour ago. That's why I kept it for. I'm gonna share it to the screen. You guys want to say something about it? If not, don't worry about it. All right, I'm gonna bring it up here real quick to my share screen. I know I was ready for you guys, and boom. Fast I can here. Okay. Yep, that's the one. Here you go, guys. The Saints. What do you guys think about that? I'll read it out to you if you want me to. ESPN, Jim Flower. I don't know what J stands for, but Flower. Flower? I can't say that name right. ESPN is reporting. Flower. I can't say that name right for some reason. Is reporting the wildest rumor he's heard from the combine is the Saints interested in trading for 49ers Jimmy Garoppolo.
real quick.
Good.
What's so wild about that rumor? I mean, I believe I've mentioned it a couple of times, and we've talked about it several times already. Like that would be a great fit. And I can't remember who said something in the text message, but said something about the Saints on a rebuild, and there would be a perfect spot for him. When you start to think about it, like maybe a 3-year deal for Jimmy over there, give him enough time to bridge till they find their QB. I like it better than the Commanders.
Yeah, I think we talked about that maybe on one of our first shows together, where we talked about the Saints being a possible destination. I think the NFC South is a good fit for Jimmy because it's kind of wide open. Brady left. We don't know about Ryan anymore. He's kind of up there. Panthers don't have a quarterback, and then the Saints don't really. They have Jameis. I think the NFC South would be a perfect either one of those teams.
The Saints don't have nobody. The Saints don't even. I think the only QB they have on is Taysom Hill.
I thought they still had Jameis on. He's hurt though.
Yeah, they still have Jameis. They still have Jameis, I think.
You sure? I thought he was a free agent. Him and Taysom, but Taysom was the one that got re-signed.
So Jameis was on a 1-year, $5.5 million deal. You're right. So
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Because remember, I brought Jameis' name up as one of our suitable backup.
Because the Saints are probably the highest over the cap too this last year, so they got a
They
lot
were
of up and betting to do.
They were at 76, and I believe they knocked it down just to about 40. They still up there,
So
but it was at 76.
yeah, it was Mike that said in our group chat that it was a perfect fit because of the rebuilding. And yeah, I mean that's probably the nail on the head there.
Yeah, and then they just re-signed Michael Thomas too, or he's in contract negotiation. It's like 3 players from the Saints that they're trying to keep right now.
But the thing about that though is that Jimmy is Jimmy, and he did say early on he wants to go to a team that is ready to win. And I don't know that the Saints are, so that's just another wrench.
I went in culture. That's exactly what you wanted. I went in culture kind of thing.
So
okay,
but I think if they throw a bit, sorry, man, but I mean, are they going to throw? If they're trying to rebuild, I mean, are they going to throw some money at him to change his mind? Because I think that was an emphasis like early on in his free agency where he was like, "I want to go to a team that's ready to win now."
I mean, you would have to throw some money at him. That's why I feel like I said a 3-year deal would be nice for him because he still get his money. He would have to get some kind of guaranteed money out of there because I don't think Jimmy don't want to be screwed again. So he's gonna have to get some kind of guaranteed money out of that whole deal. And I mean, when you think about it, when someone says words like that to me, I want to go somewhere that's already ready to win. You pretty much telling me that you can't do it on your own, or you can't be that piece that they need to start winning. You know, you just want to go in there and boom, boom, and then say, "Oh, I did it." Jimmy, you need to prove yourself as a real game manager, I should say.
I agree. That's why I like the Saints too, because we're finally going to be able to put that to rest. Is Jimmy really a winner? Is he really a winner? Are you going to go over to the Saints and win ball games?
That's it.
Without that superhero cast you have over here.
See,
what would he have going for him?
You could look at it a different way. You could look at it a different way, Mav. Jimmy could have done something really clever. Said that he wants to go to a team with a winning culture, wants to be at a winning team. Open press conference. He stands there no matter who he's with. Commanders, the Saints. Hi, boys. I'm here. I've picked you. I want this to be a winning team. Get the fan base up. Who's to say that he hasn't chose them for that reason? And we've said it before on this side of the UK. Has Jimmy been handcuffed by Kyle Shanahan, or has Kyle Shanahan been handcuffed by Jimmy G? And as 49ers, we are all eagerly awaiting. Like, I didn't know that rumor. As you can see by my background, I've been relegated to the kids' bedroom tonight because you guys will probably have a show over there called Dancing with the Stars. In the UK, we've got Dancing on Ice. My 3 girls are ice skaters. So September to February, the front room is mine. Anyone who's followed me on Twitter will see Eric Crocker was interacting with me last night, and he was bigging up my front room, the 2 TVs, NFL Sunday.
I seen that tweet.
And as soon as the NFL finishes, gentlemen, I'm relegated to the kids' bedroom to do the podcast shows. So I hadn't seen that news. So when Ryan said at the start of the show about Jimmy, I was thinking, what's happened now? Because this is why we're able to do a show. My other half was like, it's the off season. What are you doing? We did the 49er Faithful UK review show on Wednesday night, and there's 4 of us, and the other 3 lads have took 2 weeks off. And when we got into the introductions, they were like, "How have you enjoyed your break, Paul?" I said, "What break? How can you step away from Jimmy G and Trey Lance? What are you talking about?" And so it just shows you, doesn't it, gents, that even there, I had no idea what Ryan was going to put on the screen. And I was like, the Saints? Didn't hear that one. Do they have any first-round picks, by the way?
I mean, that news right there just confirmed what we've been talking about and been suspecting for the longest. I mean, we keep hearing about all these teams that are linked to Jimmy G, but only one they really talk about are the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Commanders. But now you're bringing in the Saints, and then I believe the Panthers are in the mix as well. I mean, there are a lot of teams, intriguing teams out there The Colts are one of them for a fact. Let me see. But I believe that would have to be a outright trade. Wentz for Jimmy, and maybe like a third or fourth that comes along with him. But yeah, I mean,
See, I don't
Craig,
even discount teams that don't have a first round pick because I don't think they value Jimmy in the first. They don't. I don't think
they
Jimmy's valued
don't.
as a first round pick. So I wouldn't. I wouldn't exclude the Colts. But back to the Saints. So we know Peyton's gone as their coach, and they just hired Dennis Allen, who came from the Raiders, who worked with Carr. So that's probably a good matchup to try to see if
So you
they
thinking
can.
Carr might be a Raider? I mean, it might be a Saint.
No, I think that if it, I like the rumor because if you can pair him up with Jimmy, who may kind of model some of Carr's traits, like he's like a generic Carr, it could work because of the head coach over there. That's why I kind of buy the rumor a little. Even if it was Peyton still, I would still buy it because of, let's just say, Peyton worked with Breeze, who has a similar arm strength later on as Jimmy does now. It's still a good matchup because I like to think about what staff is over there and what head coach is over there and how are they going to pair up with their quarterback, because that's really important.
You talking about in New Orleans?
In New Orleans, yeah. So will they give?
Okay,
I think
so
New Orleans has their 18th pick, the 18th pick in this year. I don't
so
think they're going to trade
let
that.
me pick it back off of that real quick. Since you mentioned Dennis and Carr, this news right here with Jimmy with link to the Saints. How about this news? About 2-3 hours ago I came across it. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but Jimmy G to the Dolphins. That's another. That's
I don't believe that for 1 second. No,
you,
no. I know they got what's his face there now, but I still reckon they'll see what they get with a year out of Tua with an offensively minded head coach. I don't buy it. That's my opinion anyway. Plus, if you had to tell me to pick one, I'd pick Tua over Jimmy any day.
Because I mean they linking Miami and the Jets to us all season long, all season long. I mean, those are the main two teams that are linked to us that we potentially can lose players to. Miami, you looking at Raheem Mostert, and I've heard Grant Cohn talk about you know where I'm going, Paul. Kiddo for Xavier Howard, which I wouldn't mind at all. We need that. We need that secondary.
No way.
I can see where you're going. I can see where you're going with the Jimmy G to Miami, but I think what you've got to remember as well, Mav, the McDaniel, when he was on the plane and he was on the phone and he was on to Tua, and I think the Miami have said Tua's our guy. And you've got to look at Matt Nagy in Chicago. He didn't last very long at all because he didn't really have his quarterback. And I think the teams that are looking at Jimmy, like what Ron has said, the Saints, it makes sense when you compare actually Jimmy and Derek Carr. Someone's going to want his piece. The reason the Commanders are in the conversation is because they've had a rebrand. And let's face it, Jimmy is a pretty package. He's a model pro. He's someone who's not going to bring any controversy to your franchise. Again, the Steelers, they've come off Big Ben. They need someone consistent. So like Ashley said, I think the Miami and New York Jets comes about because of the coach. And I mean, I do another show with a Jets fan, and every time we go on, he's like, Raheem Mostert, Laken Tomlinson, any other free agents I can take from you. And it's like, if you look at when Salah went last year, he didn't really take anyone, did he? And there was a lot of rumours about, but I think Mostert's more likely to end up in Miami than Jimmy, for my humble opinion.
Yeah, that's why with Grant Cohn, I think he has a serious flaw in misreading the locker room in that coaching quarterback relationship. I know a lot of people can just say, well, it's the NFL, you're a pro, you're getting paid millions of dollars, deal with it, and tell Tua, well, hey, we're going to bring Jimmy in and have him compete. But I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that's how it works. And I think Paul brings up a pretty good point. McDaniel's committed to him on that plane, and he called Tua directly, and then for him to turn around and then say, "Okay, you know what? Never mind. We're actually going to bring Jimmy in." I don't know, man. It just, to me, it's like that's really important.
I guess that call was kind of like was job security, but job security doesn't necessarily mean you the starter. It just means you just on the team.
If you're a first round pick, it absolutely does.
Well, I'm just saying.
You've got to look at McDaniel as well, Mav. McDaniel has been picked by Miami because of his run game.
Yeah.
You know, he's been brought across. And let's face it, like Ashley said, Tua, Jimmy, if you're going to want to run and quarterback, I know Tua doesn't have the arm strength, but he's got the legs. So for me, that's why I think Raheem makes more sense, because when you look at how Shanahan used him with his speed, I think putting him beside Tua with his offensive line, that's just what I think anyway. I think McDaniel... I think he wants to make his own impression at Miami. He's come away from Carl now, and the press conference I've seen him do in the combine this week have been excellent. He was on Good Morning Football, and wow, I'm kind of gutted we've lost him, because I didn't see that side of McDaniel under Shanahan last year. And like Salah, I'm going to keep an eye on the Dolphins because I quite like McDaniel, but I think Jimmy to Miami, and like you said, unless it's for something like backup security and, you know, late on draft night, they haven't seen anyone they fancy. Jimmy's still there. And I agree with Ron. I don't think we're going to get a first-round pick. I just threw that in because I've got a couple of mates who are Green Bay Packers fans, and I just keep teasing them, saying, "Oh, we're going to get first for Jimmy G, man. He's better than your boy Aaron Rodgers. Look at his playoff record."
For me, anyway, when I think of what team would Jimmy go to, I think the Saints would be a good fit, particularly if they get Michael Thomas back, because what's Michael Thomas known for? Running three-step slants. What's Jimmy known for? Throwing slants. So in terms of that connection, I think that would be almost like a dream marriage of them two throwing slants, because Jimmy's
bingo
great inside the numbers, pretty much crap everyone else.
You would really have to bring some offensive power over there to the Saints. I mean, who does he have? Thomas and Kamara, and nobody else.
I don't think Kamara's playing this year. He's in some serious trouble.
Yeah, I haven't heard too much about it yet. But who's the other one? Marquez Callaway, that's their receiver. And who else? Deontay.
Well, they can go up and draft that guy from Alabama, or they can, pick up one of those speedy wide receivers in the draft. They have the 18th pick to get them some help.
They're perfectly poised to draft the receiver. Probably Jameson Williams is. I've just looked at draft picks now, and I had a few mocks with them taking Jameson Williams. Yeah. But for me, I think the Saints is probably a pretty good fit for Jimmy in terms of who's got maybe
so
have around to a certain extent.
So we all agree then the Saints will make the best is the better move.
I would pose one question then. How does Jimmy G's? Well, I should say not. It's not so much Jimmy G. It's the Saints cap sort of situation. How does Jimmy's contract affect that? Because from what I understand, they'd have to pay the rest of that contract, wouldn't they? So how would that affect their cap hit? Because they're already.
Well, I think based off of Ron, we would have to wait to see what's up with Alvin Kamara, because he commands a big chunk of that salary.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have to see how much of their current roster they're looking to shed, because they're way over the cap.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If Kamara get in some serious legal trouble to where he has to be released or cut from the NFL or by the team, but not necessarily be out the NFL, then would they just pay him the remaining of whatever he was going to make this year or last year or whatever, and the rest is pretty much back in the bank for the Saints? Doesn't that sound right? Like if he gets cut, that's a big chunk of their money they saving, right?
Well, yeah, if he gets cut for that, then they save all. Yeah, they pretty much save the entire.
Yeah, because they don't have to honor the rest of his contract, do they?
Yeah, but they would only cut him if that happens, wouldn't they? And let's face it, I'm not going down the moral compass. Let's face it, if Kamara has done what it's alleged he's done, and I think he'll be out. But if there's any hint that he can play again, the Saints aren't releasing him for someone else to pick him up. And with Jimmy's contract, got to remember, they can trade him, but I think he restructures straight away. Like Ron said, Jimmy's got 1 year left in his contract. Jimmy gets traded. The first thing a new team's going to do is restructure and add years onto that, because if they trade for him, they're going to give up draft capital. No matter what, second, third, fourth. Jimmy's new contract's not going to take him on a 1-year deal at the 25 million. He's going to get some more guaranteed money in the bank. It's a bit like Cooper. I've got a friend who's a Cowboys fan. When I saw the news on Friday that they're looking to release Cooper, I thought, bloody hell, he was all right for them last year. But then when my friend explained, well, we've got CeeDee Lamb, we've got, I can't think of the...
They got Wilson, they got Zeke. Pretty much on his way out the door too. I just don't.
Gallup, that's the one I was thinking of. Sorry, and I was watching Good Morning Football on Friday. Luckily in the UK, Good Morning Football's on at dinner time. Obviously, with me off work at the moment with my Achilles, I can catch up. And they were saying that there's no danger Cooper will get picked up. And yes, he won't make $20 million next season, but he might get a 3, 4, 5-year contract somewhere else, and he will make his $20 million, but it'll be spread over. So the cap thing for me, you look at the Rams this year, everyone was saying the Rams can't pay everybody. This will make you for chuckle. One of the co-hosts' pre-season prediction on the 49er Faithful UK show was the Rams would finish last in the division and would be terrible because you can't just play Aaron Donald on defense. So when we've gone back and listened to September's show, he's like, oh my God, if I said the Rams would be the worst team in the NFL, what do I know? They're the Super Bowl champions. And we've done it ourselves. We've moved money around. I mean, as it stands at the moment, if you go on 49ers Twitter, people are panicking because of that 7.5 million injury guarantee for Jimmy. Well, let's face it, if we cut Jimmy, another team's going to pay him 7.5 million. So I'm not worried. But we're in this lovely period between the 6th of March and the 16th of March. And the combine's just been on. They've all been meeting in the back rooms. They've all been in the group chats. And it's like there. I did not know this rumour. And it's what took us the first 25 minutes of the show. Ryan texted me earlier and said, what do you think we're going to talk about tonight? It's like, Mav's probably going to rib me about Club 85. Ashley and Nick might tell me about the flag football. And me and Ron might catch up for longer than the 20 minutes last time. And then Ryan dropped the bomb. Jimmy to the Saints. So it's brilliant. It just shows you that the NFL, you can switch off all year round. And it's what we all love about it.
With Jimmy being cut, I'm okay with it. I mean, 7.5, and when he gets picked up, the other team pays that. We're only in a little bit over $2 million in dead cap space after that.
Yeah, so at the moment, the advantage of cutting Jimmy today as it stands frees up 18 million in the cap because we're on the hook for 7.5. And then if he gets picked up, we get that 7.5 back. But it's like a game of poker, isn't it? Some people are like, cut him now, cut our losses. And other people, like what Ron said at the start, let's just see what we can get. We might get on draft night, it might get down to the 11th pick of the first round. And other teams might start panicking and think, oh, I don't really fancy these quarterbacks. We're sat pretty with Jimmy. Hasn't affected our contracts, hasn't affected who we're paying yet. And that's the other thing at the moment as well. You know, John Lynch at the Combine last week did a great job of talking Jimmy up. And I did chuckle when he came out and said, we've budgeted to keep Jimmy next year. Thought, could you imagine 49ers Twitter if Jimmy G's still in next year?
I do wonder.
I don't know if I watch 49ers football. Go ahead.
I do wonder what's going to happen with sort of what they'll get in terms of trade for Jimmy, because this, I at the risk of sounding like a broken record, I've said this loads of times, but the QB situation this year in the draft really helps his value a lot. Although I do wonder whether teams are going to try and leverage the fact that he's just had shoulder surgery against the Niners. So, because I said before, I don't think they'll get more than a 4th for him, and now he's having shoulder surgery. I wonder whether that's going to drop again. Not because necessarily it'll affect him, but teams will try and leverage that information against the Niners.
So, yeah, I mean, the thing about the Saints is that they have Taysom Hill, and he's guaranteed $9 million on March 20th, and plus his $1 million base salary. So they're on the hook for $10 million if they keep Taysom Hill on the roster for, past March 20th. The new league year starts.
They just re-signed him, didn't
they? They re-signed
because he was a free. He was supposed to have been a free agent too. As far as I understood, the Saints didn't have no QB.
So they did, and so that's the thing, though. They got to decide. All right, so here's why I think the Saints may trade, because if they wait for the Niners to release Jimmy on on the 16th. They only got 4 days between the new league year and when Taysom Hill is guaranteed that 10 million and hit on the cap. That's 4 days. To me, it's a small window. So they can release Hill. I believe he's unrestricted. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, he's unrestricted. And then they can trade for Jimmy and give, whatever they were going to give Taysom Hill. And I think that does make sense because with the new coach, he didn't sign that contract for Taysom Hill. We don't know if he's bought into Taysom Hill. He can come in and just. So I think the Saints waiting for Jimmy to get released is highly unlikely because that gives them a little bit of room. And then, they're at that point, they can, if Jimmy has other suitors, they may just trade for him. It won't be for their first rounder, but we may get something for him right before the league year starts. So it kind of does make a little sense.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, guys. I do. I know I was in and out. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Dealing with my daughter. I guess we're all done, and I know I'm gonna do it real fast for me. Long as he's gone. To me, as long as he's gone. I don't care. Get a pick for him. I don't care what it is. I'm ready to move on without Jimmy anymore. I'm with Mike all the way with this.
I think it's not just that. I mean, it's what we get for him is important.
Yeah.
Because we try to make right by Jimmy, and he's just making it more complicated by the day. And at this point, it's just, if that's how he's going to be, then they just need to send him before he has say in where he's going. Because we need to get something back. I believe we do after how many years we invested into him, and then boom, nothing.
I think it'll be a similar deal to what the Colts managed to give up for Wentz. I think it'll be a late round. It'll be a third this year, conditional next year. And I think you're right, Ron. I think at the moment what you've got is Jimmy's agent is releasing stuff, and it's souring, like you said, his relationship. We've all been very vocal of, cheers, Jimmy. Well done for all your hard work. We want you to go with the best wishes. But we're 49ers fans. And like Mav said on the last show that I was on, we are 49ers first and foremost. If you're going to hurt our team. So I do think we should get something back. But, you look at today, Brian Hoyer linked to the 49ers as a backup again. And there's certain names in the NFL that don't disappear. So there's only 32 starting quarterbacks. And Jimmy and his team aren't stupid. They know he's not going to Kansas City. He's not going to the Ravens. But they've got to generate some interest. And you kind of think, I respect it on one hand that his camp are trying to look after him. But it's not like we've screwed him over. It's not like we've traded him to the Lions and thought, right, see you later, Jimmy. You're going off there. But you're right, Ron. It is starting to get a little bit. And to be fair, Ryan, I'm sure you guys all do other shows as well. And when you interact with other fans, you kind of get a bit frustrated with this question now. Like I said, I did one with a Jets fan last Thursday, and I'd prepared all my notes for other stuff. And all he wanted to talk about was Jimmy. And I was thinking, how many times can I have this conversation? It's like starting to be Groundhog Day. So
I got a question. Okay, so apparently a grade of 8.0 is the perfect prospect when it comes to quarterbacks, right? So I'm looking at Desmond Ridder, who's I don't know if he jumped the chart, if he jumped Kenny Pickett or not, but his name is popping up as the top guy as quarterback. And he scored a 6.36, which is he will eventually be a plus starter. Now, my question is, with these quarterbacks that stocks are actually rising, do you think teams wait just a little longer to see before they
absolutely?
Yeah, I think not much should happen before draft night. And look at this time last year. The world and his wife was convinced we were trading up for Mac Jones. And all of us were like, anyone but Mac.
I wanted Justin Fields.
Yeah, I was to say there was a lot of talk for Justin Fields. We were split on the 49er faithful UK. There was people who wanted Trey Lance. There was people who wanted Justin Fields. And there was people who just didn't want Mac Jones. And I think you've got to remember, look at the teams who were picking in the first round. And are they really going to gamble on one of these rookie QBs? like we said, Washington, it might not be about winning the Super Bowl for Washington. It might be about the package deal it can put in front of the fans. And again, I'll repeat it. Jimmy's a pretty package. He's a safe professional. Could one of those teams take a rookie, like you've said, Mav, and still trade for Jimmy and do the whole Jimmy's going to come in and show him the ropes? But like anything, whoever's going to trade for us with Jimmy wants to screw us over. We want to get the best possible deal. And you've got all this weird smoke and mirrors and nobody's declaring the hand at the moment. But I think once, I mean, I don't know if you saw today, the Aaron Rodgers story crackled again over here. He hasn't decided where he's going. And he's like the pretty girl that has to be told he's pretty every single day. And you think once those dominoes start falling, you know, if Russell Wilson gets traded, if Aaron Rodgers gets traded, you know, Carson Wentz gets cut and goes somewhere else.
First off, Russell Wilson, I believe he's staying. Aaron Rodgers, we will hear something by next week. I mean, it's just too much. Okay, the NFL has turned into a big old soap opera to me, man. It's too much. Just tell us what you're gonna do. You're gonna either stay with the team or you want to leave. Let it be known. Make it public. Don't sit there and do Kyler Murray shit. You feel me? Let's not do that, especially with a big name like Aaron Rodgers. Like I've said this before, man. All he's doing is repeating Brett Favre steps, doing the same thing Brett Favre did, playing the same exact game except at a higher scale.
It's all to do with ratings and money, though. I mean, I don't know about you four fine gentlemen. I tuned in to the McAfee show purely because I wanted to see Rodgers come on and say, I'm going there. And even my mate who loves Rodgers texted me 2 minutes in and was like, we're getting no news tonight. You might as well just switch off. But how many people tuned into the Pat McAfee show for that? His advertising will be through the roof. Again, we've come on tonight, Mav, and we're talking about where's Jimmy going to go. And it's a business. And the NFL, it gets us all watching the TV shows. It gets us all clicking the articles. Yeah. Like you said, Grant Coyne, I agree with Ron. He doesn't know the locker room. If you look at our show, we're a brand new show. We haven't all met each other. We're starting to get to know each other, the chemistry. I liked what you said when I came in last week, Mav, and you said, we're not screaming and shouting. And I thought, I've never done that on any of the shows I've been on. It took me by surprise. And I thought, I just took for granted that whenever I came on a show like this, I'd have gents like yourselves who would respect our opinion over this side of the pond, and you wouldn't talk over us and you wouldn't shout. And then I remember texting Welsh Nick and saying, what did he mean by that? And he was like, some people shout at you and they argue. And it was like, oh. So Grant Coyne sometimes coming along and saying, oh, they should trade Kittle when he's got a 29 million cap hit next year, or, you know, the team don't know what they're doing. I don't pay attention to Grant Coyne because he's not around the team.
Grant,
he's a quality control for the 49ers, ain't he?
Well, I mean, he doesn't do much quality control. He does a lot of damage control. Because there's a lot. I mean, so Grant's, let's just say, I don't even know why we're talking about Grant Cohn, but he's been in the game for a while, and he doesn't listen to what you have to say. He's just waiting to speak, and that's why he blurts things out as you're talking. And to me, it's kind of annoying.
Honestly though, he has you contents to talk about. He gives you content to talk about, though.
He does, and he's brilliant at that. And that's what leads me into my point about you saying the NFL has become drama. I think players are more in control and they understand their likeness, and agents are on board with, you know, like I think Paul or Ashley said it earlier. Jimmy is a marketable quarterback, and that's why he'll draw interest, because he comes with a fan base. He comes with more than just being a quarterback. He comes with jersey sales. He comes with ticket sales. And players understand that. Aaron Rodgers understands that. And he understands that negativity does sell. So we're living in times where, you know, like Kyler Murray. I don't know if he intended to be to draw attention, but he drew attention and people were talking about him. So I think that's why we have this in today's NFL, is where players understand their likeness. And they're there as much as Grant Cohn is for views and for clicks.
Yeah, I agreed, to be honest. I think now more than ever, players have more agency than they ever have, and they have more leverage purely because of things like social media, which makes this process so much more transparent. I mean, give it 30 years ago, you wouldn't even have us talking to each other about this. We give it, as much as we give, we take it back as well to social media in a sense. So I think as well, these players use social media and etc. to create a brand and an image, knowing that there's more to just being a football player. You can get paid not for just being a football player, but being a personality. You can there's more to it than just how good you are for a team, and they can use these things to leverage deals and where they go and etc. So I agree I think that does had a massive effect to a certain extent. Yeah. So
see, what made me chuckle, Ron, about Kyler Murray, and you'll laugh. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and social media is her whole world. And 2 weeks ago, she deleted everything off Instagram. I was like, what are you doing? She just changed her image and she's gone back to 3 photos. And then a couple of days later, the reason I'm linking this in, Kyler Murray deleted everything off his social media and the world lost its, well, I'm not going to swear on YouTube. And I chuckled because I thought, if you strip it down, it might just be he didn't like his photos anymore. But for people, like, he's playing the game. He's removed all things of the Cardinals. And then his agent released that statement. And then Russell Wilson did it. And Aaron Rodgers does it. And you think, like you said, Ashley, you kind of can play the game, but sometimes you can play it too much. And yeah, they're all in it for the shirt sales, the money. I mean, I've seen something saying Rodgers wants $50 million next year.
Yeah, that's insane.
I've seen something. Murray wants $80 million. And I said on a fan group, I saw that on, please pay him $80 million. Please.
But how do you expect to keep a team together, though? You asking for so much money.
Yeah.
But yet you want this player, you want that player, you got to pay them too. I mean, there's a cap. If it was anything like baseball, I could understand you trying to be the New York Yankees of football. But you got a cap. You can't just be tossing money out there. And that's one thing these players don't understand. Well, I guess they do understand that because they're trying to get all that money before they start getting hurt and can't do anything no more. I get it. I probably would try to do it too, but at the same time, I understand why we all came together for. I understand the goal that we all share. And that's where I'm trying to. It depends on the type of
player you are, though. It kind of depends on the type of person you are. Because if you ask Aaron Rodgers, he's been doing it all by himself, so he doesn't really care who else is getting paid. In his mind, there's only 2 people who should get paid.
I mean, has he really been doing it all by himself?
And if you ask him, yeah, I mean that's been his beef, I think, since.
But I'm asking you.
Actually, yeah, the way we kick their ass, let's look at their offensive line. So if you look at Aaron Rodgers, I mean, in Green Bay for a while, if I look at that team, there's only one reason why they really had a chance to beat you, and it was because they had Aaron.
Okay.
And I think he understands. I think that's how he feels. Let's be honest. He's got a big ego. He's got a huge ego, and a lot of his rift with the team was how they let Randall Cobb go, how they let certain players go that he felt like we should have kept. Like, was it Jordy Nelson? How they sent him off to the Raiders? He didn't like that. You trade off his receivers, you piss him off. And I don't understand. I don't know that Aaron Rodgers really understands the value of his O-line, and he has a great O-line. And some of these guys are no-name guys who block for him pretty well. But if you ask him, he's been doing it all by himself the entire time. And in a way, he's kind of right, because who else do you talk about besides Adams when you play the Packers? They have a chance to beat you only because they have Rodgers over there. If Rodgers wasn't over there, they'd be bottom feeders.
And the problem with Rodgers, though, as well, Mav, is when you look back at our game against him in the playoffs, he should have checked it down. He should have gone, I think it was Scantling in the middle, and he went for his boy Adams and he overthrew him. And
I think it was Lazard.
Lazard. There was someone in the middle that he could have checked it down to, and he went for the throw. And I think every 49er fan thought, Josh Norm's back there. Where's the yellow flag? Oh my God, what are you doing? But like Ron said, no one's going to tar on Rodgers. I'm not going for that. It was like last year when he was pissed off that they kicked the field goal against Tampa Bay instead of letting him go for it. It's what you see with Russell Wilson. Mahomes, to a degree, when I've gone back and watched some of the playoff games, Mahomes coming and running around and doing his own thing didn't exactly help his team. But then the flip side of the argument is, you would say, as 49er fans, we've looked at that kind of quarterback play and thought, we want some of that, where you've had Jimmy checking it down. So I think, as myself, yes, you'd love an Aaron Rodgers or a Patrick Mahomes, but I want something in the middle. I'm sick of seeing Jimmy be safe. And I'm sure we have talked about on the other shows, and I had a conversation with my friend yesterday. Trey Lance is 21. Of course, he's not going to come and hit the ground ready, but I'm excited to see what he can do. And you said it, Ron. We've seen Jimmy. Thanks for the memories. You need to go now. And I'm trying to block out some of the noise. But things like this today that we've spent 40 minutes talking about, Jimmy to the Saints, that's only good for us because it gets the other teams thinking. Because up until that news breaking, people were thinking, oh, no one's interested. But even us three, we can say what? The Saints, the Washington, you've got the Colts sniffing around. For me, let's play them all off against each other.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. And Paul, I want to bounce off what you said earlier. We don't argue and fight here. I didn't make the channel only to fight and argue about certain things. We want to make our points, yes. But I love this. I love this whole thing I do. That's the reason why I wanted to create it.
It's okay not to agree, yeah.
Yeah. It's okay not to agree, yes. But I don't want to
If we all agreed on the same thing, it wouldn't be no conversation.
We do it in a simple way, though, don't we? We do it in a simple way. Yeah. I mean, you're so simple. You even have a Pats fan on you. Sorry to break it to you, Paul. You said you liked everyone, but I'm not a Niners fan, so no, that might change your opinion. But no, we get on simply, don't we? I mean, in the grand scheme of
you know what?
Yeah, what we get for
I got a question.
I should say is a grain of sand compared to the things that go on in the world, isn't it?
I got a question for you guys right now, and I guess your answer would be either yes, it can help, or no, keep it like this. Jimmy G to Jacksonville, you sit Trevor Lawrence for the year.
Nah, no way. You need just get as much help as you can for Trevor now, I'd say. What's good is it going to do him if you go back to sitting him now when he's played for a full year? It's just going to create, rumblings in the organization. It's going to annoy the fans. It's just going to create more problems than it does good, even if it has any good to it in the first place. That's my opinion on it. Get him help, and they've got him a head coach now, but just get him help.
I missed that, Matt. What was the question? I'm sorry.
Let's say, okay, let me reword it. Let's say that you put Trevor Lawrence in the Trey Lance situation with Jimmy G in Jacksonville. Does that help him or no? Ashley already said no.
No.
About you, Paul?
No, I don't think it helps him. I can see your point. I think Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, they've all benefited from playing a year. And that's the argument with Trey Lance. I mean, to be fair, Ashley, to go back to your original thing, I caught bits of yesterday's show. I didn't see all of it because the strong painkillers I was in and out. So I was similar to Nick yesterday with my Achilles. And you said something about being a Pats fan on the show yesterday, and I didn't know whether I was dreaming that. So you've clarified that for me today. But strap in, because we're going to focus a lot on the 49ers on this show, mate. So I really appreciate that. But going back to your question, Mav, I think, like what Ashley said, I think Jacksonville just need to protect Trevor Lawrence now. He's the face of the franchise. And I don't think someone like that, like you said, what would it say to Trevor Lawrence bringing Jimmy in? And I can't see that. For our point of view, Jacksonville pick up the phone and say, here's the deal and it suits us. I'm not going to worry about Jacksonville. See you later, Jimmy. But no, I don't think that's
because that's actually why I was gonna go with Jimmy in front of all those QBs that was drafted. Because I mean, we've already seen him with Trey Lance. I wonder how he would have fared in Jacksonville if that was the situation Trevor Lawrence was in. How about Zach Wilson? Could that still be a possible scenario? To where he sits down for another year,
Jimmy. But again,
and like the Bears, I don't see the Bears sitting Justin Fields just to do that, but could that be an interesting scenario? But especially not the Patriots with Mac Jones. I think they got their quarterback.
Yes, as you were saying earlier, Paul, people were talking about last year were you going to take people do want to take Mac. Thank you for not taking Mac. I am very happy that you didn't take Mac Jones now. So just I thought I'd say
You
that.
can have that statue.
To clarify those comments, Ashley, at 12, I think all us Niners on the show would have took Mac Jones at 12.
This is what I said yesterday, actually. Yeah.
But trading up for Mac Jones, I haven't seen anything last year, Ashley, and that's not a knock on him, because when we do the Shank Club, one of the lads on there is a Patriots fan, and he said he's happy with him at 12, but there's no way you're trading 3 first rounds for Mac Jones. No. I mean, as a Patriots fan, you might argue, which I would respect, but...
No, I wouldn't argue. I said this yesterday, like, I wound Nick Welsh up about, you're going to take Mac Jones at 3? Oh, my God. I probably wound him up all before the draft. And then but at 15 where we were, it made sense. But, yeah, back to what Matt was saying, though, like, I think, Matt, you just said it now as well. Like, you just, like, now it's not a good idea, but maybe last year, like, if they had someone like Jimmy last year where they could have sat behind him, yes, very beneficial. But now... And it would be beneficial purely from like a player's perspective now, but from the whole drama side, we were just talking about social media, how much drama it creates. This would create an absolute storm on social media. It would create a million questions in the media. It would lead to more of a distraction. There's no benefit in it now, put it that way. Back then, yes. Now, no. But an interesting idea.
I mean, it would benefit us as 49er fans, right? Because there would be no more talking about Jimmy. Now it'd be all somebody else.
that's why I'm here. I'm here to offer some different perspectives and go, well, actually, no. The rest of the league would be like, damn, Jags, what are you doing?
No, it does work to have someone else who's on the show that isn't a 49er, because sometimes we do get stuck in our bubble. And to answer what Ryan said, I jumped on the show last week for 20 minutes, connected with Mav, and then me and Mav had a bit of banter on Twitter, which anyone reading it would think Mav was having a go at me and I was having a go back at him, and it wasn't. It was all building the chemistry. It was tongue-in-cheek, but anybody looking at our tweets might have seen, oh, hang on a minute, and, you know, the Club 85 thing, yes, there's a lot of us have got Kittle jerseys, but if Kittle's traded and it's the best deal for the club, it's what you take. But before we move on, Ryan, I don't think Nick would mind us telling you, because it's on his handle on Twitter. I've just double checked. So for those people that don't know, Welsh Nick lives with MS, so multiple sclerosis. So he still balls out with flag football. He came to the in-season meet-up against the Vikings game last year and drank me under the table. The hangover I had the next day, it was the first time in 2 years we'd been out with COVID. And first time I'd met Nick face to face. And so he is very proud of what he's living with, Ryan, and he wouldn't mind you sharing that. But equally, while you've got the panel, while you've got all of us, we appreciate we've all got busy lives. And yesterday I chuckled when me and Nick were sat in the UK and it was pouring down, and Mav's like, oh, I'm going in an hour, gents. It's nice and sunny here and I'm going to go on the beach. And we live in England.
It was very beautiful.
We don't see sun. We see rain and grey cloud. But what Ryan's put together allows us. It allows us to dip in and out. Like, it's the first time I've seen you, Ashley, on the show. I've watched bits of you, but that's what Ryan's put together. He's put together a show which can fit around all our busy schedules. But I just wanted to say, Ryan, I don't think Nick would mind you sharing that with everyone, and I hope he's at home resting. And if he's watching, I'm fighting the corner for you, Nick.
Hey, much love, Nick.
Much love.
Yeah, Nick.
I'm telling you, that's my new nickname for you, Nick. Nick the Kingsman.
My two Nicks.
I'll just say, Paul, like what Paul said, Nick's very open about it, and he's very proud of it. He wears it on his chest. He actually has gloves. He has receiver gloves that say like with the MS charity on it, where you put it together. So he's very proud of it, and because all that, and he's amazing centre as well.
Has he done any charity work over there?
Always making big plays. So honestly, it's incredible what he does, and I think he does a lot for spreading or destigmatizing MS in the UK. So I'm really proud to call him my centre, and I'm really proud to made happen.
I've absolutely love how knowledgeable you guys are of the game, man. It's freaking impressive to me. Like, you guys know your stuff.
I love them boys, man.
Yeah, kudos to you guys. You guys damn know what you're talking about, and I love it.
We appreciate that.
We do appreciate it. We do. Look at us all going right now, Paul.
Yeah, but the thing is, Ashley, when you live where we do, gentlemen, the NFL is still a strange game. I went out this afternoon with my moon boot on for my Achilles, but people are looking at my hoodie and my hat, and the amount of times you have to explain. And when I first got into the sport, I didn't know the difference between a first down and a muffed punt. Where now I don't watch English football. There's been huge games on this weekend that my friends in the group chat are talking about. Zero interest. Give me news about where Juju Smith-Schuster's going to go. Tell me about Jimmy G. It's all about the NFL.
That's awesome, dude.
I was just looking at this tweet now that you've put up.
Yeah. Drew from our chat, he actually posted about 10-15 minutes ago, and I wanted to share it to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 potential landing spots for Steelers wide receiver Juju Smith. Could Buster, Chuster?
I said Juju Smith-Schuster. I said the Chiefs.
Are the Eagles, 49ers, and Chiefs?
I agree with Mav. I think it's going to be the Chiefs.
Okay. I actually like the idea of Eagles. I did.
Me too. I agree with Ashley. I like the Eagles idea.
I don't think the Eagles can snap them though. Why? I don't think they'll be able to entice him. I think the Chiefs are a little bit sweeter for him. He's a fast guy. He likes to touch.
I don't think it'll come down to money. I think if the Eagles give him more money than the Chiefs, he's going to go to the Chiefs because he's going to be chasing. They've got all the pieces still. The Chiefs are going to be there or thereabouts.
He's a young guy. Who do you think gives him the better chance of reaching the Super Bowl?
What is he in it for, though? TikTok views? I think
this is what I was just going to go for. Like, does he? It seems like something with Steelers receivers that just seem to create drama. Even Chase Claypool is doing that now. It just seems like I don't know what's the culture's like there. Maybe it's a culture thing, but I don't know. Is he worth the drama he's going to bring with him, or the potential drama anyway? I think he's quieted down since he got popped in the Cincinnati game that few years back. So, like, is it worth it really? And do the Niners really need him really? No, the team that needs him the most out of those lot is the Eagles, in my opinion. So that's why
I believe we'll get a wide receiver in the draft. If anything, we're not gonna go after no trade, no free agency for no wide receiver. I don't see it happening. But the Eagles is.
What if you could package, maybe pull something off of the Steelers for like a trade with Schuster and Garoppolo, though, maybe with something else involved? Obviously, like straight swap, I don't think that works, but. Because obviously Steelers have been talked about as a landing spot for Garoppolo. I know we don't want to go on about Garoppolo anymore, but there's that's a possibility, isn't it? If you think about it.
But either way it goes, if you do
they could give us that defensive fella. Watt. I don't think he's much valued at the Steelers. Just send him over, Ashley. Watt for Garoppolo in the first round. That'll do.
But I mean, you think about you getting rid of Juju Smith-Schuster, and then you bringing in Garoppolo. He doesn't have any kind of receiver over there. Deontay Johnson. Nah,
Claypool's good. Claypool's good. He's just dramatic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but just one guy. I mean, at least with the Niners, Jimmy had a chance of receivers. He had targets. He just chose who he wanted to go to. But yeah,
right. I don't. You can give Jimmy 50 receivers. I don't see how that benefits that team. He's not going to throw to him.
It doesn't, but you can still see the weapons that he has. So therefore, it hides his flaws in so many ways.
I think you're just paying guys to go out there and run routes like we are with Ayuk. And I mean, you're paying. So here's the thing about. So back to Juju. Aren't the Chiefs already crowded though? Look at the receivers. They got Tyreek Hill, they got Byron Pringle, who's pretty good. They got McCall Hardman, and they got Kelsey. I don't see.
Just about to bring that up too. I was just about to bring that up too about the receivers because Hill right.
And the Eagles don't have a slot guy.
No, how good was Devontae Smith? He was good this year, but I don't think he was. Jamar. He wasn't Jamar Chase level, was he? So and Jalen Reagor was an absolute flop for them, wasn't he? So. I think in terms of like where that makes most sense, football wise or logically wise, I'd say the Eagles. There's what I'd say, particularly because, like you said, Ryan, as well, the Chiefs are so stacked. The Niners are stacked as well, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if Ayuk takes a big jump this year now. Yep. The two other teams don't necessarily need him. Eagles would benefit the most from him.
The Eagles have Jalen Reagor, dude. He's terrible.
Yeah, so that would be a trade, right?
No,
that would be a trade, right?
Is he a free agent? I thought.
Yeah, he's free agent. He can go. He can sign with whoever.
So that means he chooses where he gets to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm Juju Smith, am I coming in to help the quarterback, or do I need the quarterback to help me?
Well, I mean, you got Hurts over there, so he's still young.
I'm saying, I'm just asking, like, that's a question I would be asking myself. Like, am I going to a team to help that team, or am I just being an extra piece or an additional piece that this team needed?
It might come down to what he wants money-wise, Mav. Like, look at Golladay. He went to the Giants for $72 million. He wasn't going to the Giants to win the Super Bowl. He got the best contract that he wanted. And like Ron said, Hurts showed flashes last year, but Hurts is a good one for us as 49ers to compare to, because for me, he still uses his legs too much. He panics and he goes to that default mode of, like, I'm being the best athlete on the field for years at high school, college. And that's the worry with Trey, isn't it? We want Trey to develop where he doesn't panic. He gives it that extra second. So someone mentioned TikTok videos. I think you did, Ashley. Juju's going to go to the Chiefs for that because he's got Mahomes' daft brother and girlfriend. And if it's TikTok videos, that's where he's going.
Nah, they banned from games now, haven't they?
Yeah.
Well, remember that drama? That was funny.
Right.
I believe the Chiefs will make room for Juju in a heartbeat. I'm not even worried about their receiver.
See, knowing what I know from Juju, because he's a USC guy, he's a Pac-12 guy. I follow Pac-12 day and night, and I think that he's about the targets. He wants high amount of targets. And if you look at the Eagles, besides Smith, yeah, they don't have anybody else. If you go to the Chiefs, yeah, you may get some hardware, but what's that going to do for you for your next contract? He's still young. I think, to me, my opinion, I think the Eagles make more sense for him.
Yeah, so me, Eagles are a top choice for me right now for him. So
it comes down to what he wants: money or the trophy.
Well, the Eagles, if it's the both. Well, I don't think the Eagles can give him a trophy, but I think the Eagles can give him his targets.
The Eagles will give him the money. The Eagles will give him the money and the target. Yeah, the Chiefs will give him that hardware.
If he wants to be a personality as well, if you consider that as well, we've been talking about social media, which makes more sense. If the Chiefs, you might win a Super Bowl there, but is Kansas City really the biggest media market? Philly's far bigger as a media market. San Francisco, I'd say, is obviously a step above Kansas City, but I think Philadelphia, media-wise, makes a lot of sense for him as well, or where he'd want to be as well.
The problem with the 49ers, Ashley, is he's not a blocking wide receiver. And we like our wide receivers to block. Hence why Ayuk was in the doghouse at the start of last season. Hence why Jennings is so valuable. So
now hold on before you go on, Paul. Was Ayuk in Shanahan's doghouse or was he in Jimmy's doghouse? Which doghouse was he in?
Well, he's in my doghouse.
Jimmy didn't look his way.
Because I had him for 1,200 receiving yards in the first few games of the season. I was like, why aren't we passing the ball to him? You can throw my prediction out. But, yeah, that was a strange one.
So who you blame?
Kyle.
I blame Kyle. I think it was Shanahan.
Really?
Think. Yeah.
Hey, Maverick, do you think it was a doghouse or was it trust? You didn't trust him.
It was the doghouse to me. I believe Jimmy put him there.
Okay. I was just throwing that there for help. I'm throwing out there.
Jimmy, to me, I don't know how everybody else feel, but Jimmy is most likely a one-read quarterback to me. Like, he'll barely look at his second read. He's fixated on that target. That's where I'm going. That's where it is. That's where I'm going to make that play. And when he sees another read, it's too late. That play's already developed. The play is already covered.
Yeah, Jimmy's he's not a reading quarterback. He's a timing quarterback. It's all based off timing.
That makes me think, though, like you said, Ron, earlier, I'm interested to see how he does at a different team, because Shanahan's offense is more of a pure progression offense where you drop back, you look at your number one, you look at your number two, you come to your number three. Well, if you put him in a timing offense where he's keying a man, or you spread guys out a bit, you put him in the gun, give him some space, so he doesn't have to throw off his back foot because he's not the best against pressure. So he does in an offense like that, where it's he's making quick reads, he's making to get the ball out quick, he's reading one man, suiting his skill set more than maybe he does in the Shanahan offense.
Yeah, he'll look like a freaking superstar then.
Mm-hmm.
And then 49ers Twitter will melt down again, won't it? When Jimmy goes and balls out, and we'll want him back.
No, we won't. Because I'll make the argument. Look, all he's doing is just getting the ball out of his hand fast. That's all. That's all he's doing. He's not even waiting for the play to develop. Why couldn't he just do that? He has the ball in his hand.
He don't call his own plays.
I get it, but you still have the ball in your hand. You're the quarterback. As soon as you see it, why not hit it?
That's not how Kyle is a progressive read. It's a progression read offense. It's like boom one, boom two, boom three. If not open, boom four. And Jimmy doesn't work like that. Jimmy, it's just like gunslinger, boom, 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 boom. Like the Saints offense with Drew Brees, it was just all about timing. Shoot, shoot, shoot.
Yeah,
So
but
then
Drew could still read, and Drew can still see his reads.
Yeah,
He's
but
looking at 1, 2, 3
but
before
that's
he
the thing though. It's like
gunslings.
so if Kyle is paying him $27 million a year, shouldn't Kyle adjust the way he's calling his plays in, or how he's managing his quarterback?
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, if the ball is in your hand 100% of the game, you still have a chance to make your own play out there too. If you see it, you take it. And if you turned out to be great, then guess what? Your coach gonna be mad at you, but okay, we made it. The play happened. We got the touchdown. We scored.
Man,
now we're talking about a different Jimmy G.
I would ask that you take a look at Kyle Shanahan's route running tree and how his offense works.
Okay.
It's very complex. That's
why I've heard them talk about it.
Yeah, that's why I never really. I mean, that's why I put a lot of the blame on Kyle at times because he knows. So, like I said, I had said this earlier. It's like the more Jimmy is asked to think about, the worse he's off. The worse he does.
Sorry about the late thing there, Nick. Sorry, bud. Saints are going to struggle next year after restructuring their big contracts. They're still $14 million over the cap. They're still struggling after Jimmy.
Yeah, see, they went down from 76 to 40. I know they did. Now,
Hey.
Ron, you say looking his route running tree?
Yeah. Just
they run a lot of stuff like with obviously they do a lot of two back stuff. They'll run stuff like short posts from like a guy at like fullback or an on the ball tight end, or they'll run stuff as well. Excuse me, like a 7-stop, which is like very unconventional in today's NFL. Like it's basically a corner, but you cut it off. It's very different, I'd say, or it's more traditional historically than it is, to the NFL of today. Well, today's more, get the ball in the guy's hand in space on the run, move in. I say Shanahan's is very, it's much more methodical. It's much more old school, I'd say.
Yeah,
he does have that old school mentality still.
I don't know if maybe that's what Jimmy's skill set doesn't suit that to a certain degree. But then again, like I said, I don't like Jimmy G. I'm not the biggest fan of him. I've made that very clear on the show. I don't think he can push the ball downfield, but between the numbers, he's really solid. And I think this year, he'll go to a team. They'll give him, well, they won't give him a deal away, but they'll give him a year to see how he does and see how he does from there. So I'm interested to see how he does in a different situation where the offense is different. He looked good initially as a Niner, didn't he? Like when he was got there initially. I'm not sure what the coaches were then though. Like that's such a long time ago, isn't it? It's like 2016, but he looked good for us for a period, the Patriots. So let's see what he does.
I think Ron and Mav have both got good points. I think you touched upon it, Ashley. If you look back at Jimmy last year, Kyle did change it round after the first 9 games of the season when we struggled. He started putting Jimmy under center a bit more. He started going from the shotgun a bit more. He started playing Jimmy's strengths. And that's why we got back into the playoff contention. And like you said, you look at the game against the Rams, that was his opportunity, wasn't it, gents, for all 49ers fans? That last drive, ball in your hands, you got to prove it. And he didn't. And that's why we're ready to move on. But I disagree with you slightly in regards to, I think his new team will give him a multi-year contract, Ashley, because no one's paying him $20-odd million for a 1-year rental. And as Jimmy,
I didn't mean 1 year.
Yeah, is he going to play for 1 year? Yeah. I was just meaning because of an injury. And another thing we've got to remember, if we are stuck with Jimmy and we keep him on the contract, because he is under contract unless we cut him, is Jimmy going to ball out knowing that one injury? We've all been talking on the show, it's all about money. So that's why I think we move on from him. But
such a weird time, isn't it? No one knows what's going to happen. It's just purgatory to a certain extent, isn't it? So
I'm just puzzled right now. I'm looking at some of these plays from like the 49ers, Shanahan's playbook, and I'm like, wow, okay. It doesn't look complex.
If you want to watch something that's pretty good for explaining it, there's a guy on YouTube called. He used to play for the Niners, actually. I can't remember his name now. JT O'Sullivan.
Yeah,
he has a
JT O'Sullivan, quarterback class. Yeah, quarterback. I watch him.
Yeah, he does some good stuff on the Niners and stuff, I think. Yeah.
And to be fair, Ashley, sorry, Mav, there's another channel as well, Ashley. There's a guy called 49ers Film, and there's obviously Brian Boldinger. But like Ron said, Mav, that's why I blamed Kyle for Ayuk at the start of the season, because it was Kyle's offense, it was Kyle's plays, and I went in pretty high on Ayuk and Debo in my fantasy team. And at the start of the season, I had high hopes for Ayuk. Didn't think Debo was going to have the season he had. Luckily, I had Debo, which was an inspired choice as a 49ers fan. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Ayuk and Debo can do with a dynamic quarterback under center.
I don't know. Can you guys see this by any chance? Can y'all see this?
Is that a play?
This was from Kyle Shanahan's Atlanta Falcon. That's a play from their Atlanta Falcons book. Well, I'm looking at the way it's drawn.
And then you got it's like a single high beat of that, isn't it? Like double post and then like a
Look at it close. Let me see.
Yeah, Jimmy's got one rod on there. I think he can comfortably hit. It's that quick slant up. Oop.
I know it's probably that sort of crosser, isn't it? But
look at where the tight end's coming from, though.
Yeah.
So, and that was from the Falcons, maybe. Yeah. Drag all the way across and then slants out.
You've also got a play fake away from that route as well to drag the linebackers down and across and open up that space for when he throws on the boot.
Exactly. It's designed to space the defense out as much as possible to create opportunity for yak yardage.
Are we turning into QB school?
Right.
We're revolutionizing stuff,
right?
Guys.
I mean, we see well, you got to think about it. Jimmy G kind of make you turn into a QB school. I mean, even though you never really played it, I've never played quarterback. I mean, I've thrown the ball, but I can't sit there and read those plays like a quarterback to save my life. But you hand me that ball, I'm gone. I'm taking off. That's all I worry about. Just put the rock in my hand and show me where I'm going. But
I played linebacker, so we learn it backwards. We're learning we're learning what they're trying to do against us. So we need to know what that offense is trying to do against us. And that's why when I watch Jimmy play, I know exactly what they're trying to do against the defense. And that's why, Kyle Shanahan's offense is designed to spread the defense out as much as possible, create that separation for these receivers. So when you see these receivers, they're wide open. There's nobody within 5 to 10 yards from them. But the thing with Jimmy is that he doesn't have the ability to make all those throws. So if you look back at the Falcons offense, Matt Ryan was that was one of the best offenses of all time because he had the ability to make those throws. And it's not
like he had a great offensive line neither. He was just quick with the release.
Well, he could make the throws that needed to be made to maximize the most yardage and all that, and to score points, man. That's what he's trying to do, and that's why, like, Jimmy is. That's why he was like. They wanted Kirk Cousins because he can make those throws, and then when we got Jimmy, I just never thought it was really. I don't know. It was Kyle Shanahan never really adjusted. I don't think he truly embraced what Jimmy could do, which was more of a timing type of QB where it was like boom, boom, boom. You saw it when he first came in. I keep talking about it. When he first came in, he came to the team. He didn't know the playbook. He was just out there slinging it. Timing, boom, boom. You saw somebody open, he threw it. Won 6 in a row. But once he started getting more knowledge of what Kyle Shanahan expected, like it just didn't work. It didn't work.
His game started going down. You could really see it.
So I wouldn't be surprised, if he gets paired up with a guy who has that similar mindset and Jimmy is successful, then I'm going to be pointing towards Kyle like, bro.
You won't need to worry, Ron. Trey Lance is going to win MVP, 5 Super Bowls.
I love it. Yeah, I love it, Paul.
This is where Ashley jumps in and starts saying Mac Jones is going to win the Super Bowl.
I like Trey Lance, particularly in Shanahan's offense because of the style of offense he played at NDSU. A lot of under center, a lot of ball fakes, a lot of pushing the ball downfield. Like we saw in that play there, sort of like double post with like a crosser that turns upfield. That sort of play, that sort of playbook, lots of offense really suits Trey Lance's skill set.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the play that Maverick just showed us was in 2020 during was it during the pandemic? I can't remember if it was during the pandemic or not, but Nick Mullins was our
That was a
quarterback.
Falcons play.
Was that a Falcon play? It was the same play.
Did we run that play?
That Juice ran the same kind of play, went through the linebackers, went up. And that's when Nick Mullins missed Juice wide open. Remember that play?
I must clarify as well. Although I'm saying double post, I'm aware they're not drawn up as posts on the.
Because he went around.
It looks like the
went
cross
up.
is very similar to double post.
Yeah.
Crossing.
It's the same one that Nick Mullins missed.
What's the guy talking about? I know, I'm aware of that. That there's the deep crossing routes are similar, very similar to posts. The tackle, midfield, safety.
Boy, was I mad when you missed that throw.
And you sure that was the exact play?
Yeah, because Juice went around the linebacker behind the defenders in front of the linebackers and went around towards the secondary. And that's the one when Nick Mullins went out. He threw it, but he overthrew Juice. It was Juice wide open on the left side of the hash. I just forget what team. I forget what team it was. That's anything I forget.
It was the Eagles.
It was the Eagles, was it? Was the Eagles? Okay, because he missed Juice
that
wide
cost us
open.
The game. Yep, that cost us the game.
Yep.
Okay.
Now you know what I'm talking about. There you go.
Can I throw Paul a question this sec? Because we've discussed this, and I would like to do Paul's opinion on this. Talking about Trey Lance's his ability to run. Marv, you've answered this, and it'd be interesting to compare yours to Paul. How many rushing touchdowns do you think he'll get this year? Or will they use him? Even will they use him much as a runner this year?
Well, he'll get about 150, won't he? He's just going to be.
No, is that right?
No. To answer your question, actually, like when Ryan jumped in, I have a mate who's a Rams fan, and he texted me on draft night and said, if Kyle Shanahan gets Trey Lance, the league needs to be worried. And he said that on draft night, and I've kept that text. And he came to the Super Bowl meet up with me in Newcastle, and he said, I'm going to enjoy this because that text stands when Trey Lance gets the grasp of Shanahan's offense, game over. And I've said on other shows, Ashley, Kyle doesn't want him to be a Lamar Jackson. He doesn't want him to be a Kaepernick. He wants him to be more like Josh Allen. He wants him to use his arm. But if the play is there for his legs, but rushing touchdowns for a quarterback, I'd be happy with 10. But
if you watch his game in college, I mean, he's a pass first player. He takes the run when it's there for him, but just because it's there, he's not going to take. He's going to look to. I've seen him scramble, not like Russell Wilson, but he trying to at least extend the play, give it some more life. I've seen that in some of the clips that have shown it, and when you look at that Texan game, it was pretty much what you've seen in North Dakota State if you watch those games or any kind of highlights of a Trey Lance. So I'm with your buddy. I'm with him on that one. Yeah.
A lot of people.
Sorry, Paul.
So a lot of people look at the Cardinals game, and Trey Lance didn't have time to prepare. Jimmy went injured, and Trey Lance was put in. And when you watch people who were at the game, Dion, who comes on the Shank Club, he was at the game, and he said what was happening was the play was breaking down, and Trey was defaulting. He was scrambling, or Kyle hadn't put much in the playbook. Like when Jimmy like Ron said, when Jimmy first come over, he didn't have Kyle's playbook. So a lot of people have focused on that one game. But the Texans game, there was a guy from our group at the game, and he is Jimmy's biggest fan, as I've said. And after that game, he said, Trey struggled first half. He said, but in that second half and that touchdown pass to Debo, he was sold. And he was like, I'm Jimmy's biggest fan. But yes, that is what we can do. So that's why we're all excited, Ashley, to answer your question in a different way.
Yeah. All I was going to say is I view him more as a quarterback that has a running skill set anyway that's more similar, not exactly like, but more similar to Cam Newton than Lamar Jackson. He's more of a power runner. They'd use him on QB lead or QB draws, I should say. Designed runs then more than scramble drills. But because you saw a bit at North Dakota State, they actually did a lot with him there, and they did a bit with him last year. So I'm just interested to see whether they'll do the same thing this year again. Because he has the ability to do it. It's just whether they want to, protect him long term a bit. Because obviously, I mean, look at people like Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson. They've got injuries already, lots of injuries already. Only 3 years into their career, whether they're a bit wary of that. That's all I was going with that there. Yeah.
So how many rushing touchdowns you say, Paul?
I'm going to say a minimum of 10. I don't want to go too over the top.
Mm.
In a full season, if he's playing 17 games, I'm going to say 10. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's why I was like, when you said it, because Mav said 10.
What about passing?
What's the record? What's the league record? Hey, you should put me on the spot.
55 touchdown passes. Peyton Manning.
Now, hold on. If I'm not mistaken, the 49ers hadn't had a quarterback to throw over what I say 30 touchdowns it was in like the past 10 years or something like that.
I think he's throwing 30.
The last one. I said 30. What I said 20 plus, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm thinking he's hitting 30, and yeah, I'm sticking to it. And I think he's gonna have low interception numbers as well. Because like you said, the dude keeps his eyes downfield. And I think
I say 7 picks.
I still think he threw over 10. I think initially
I'll say 12.
He'll trust his arm too much. Like you saw against the Cardinals sometimes, he tried to muscle it in there sometimes, and the ball fell apart on him. I think early on that might happen, but throughout the season, it'll obviously the numbers will drop off.
But that's pretty damn decent though for a rookie, man. To
only throw like 12 I
picks.
just think he'd have a few more than 7 because 7 was pretty good for any quarterback in the league. Yeah.
And
so
what was the stats that I read off on him the other night about between him and Jimmy? Because he was like real dead close with Jimmy in like 6 games. What was Trey? Do you remember? Yeah. Well, I know everybody keep talking about something. There's no quarterbacks in the quarterback class is real weak.
I disagree with
I'm
that.
keeping my eyes on this kid, E.J. Perry from Brown University.
Yeah.
I disagree with that too. I disagree with with them being I still think that they're stocking these quarterbacks, and that's kind of concerning too.
There's no one like a Trevor Lawrence in it though, and I know you can make your assumptions about Trevor Lawrence, but the sort of hype around him then was ecstatic when he first came into the league. But I think there's stock in them. I just don't think it's a particularly strong class in terms of pure talent. I was watching the combine highlights actually, and that Brown popped up, and it's been a nice ball. Feeling pretty good. For me though, I think the top quarterback in this draft is Malik Willis in terms of pure talent and athleticism.
Man, don't sleep. I mean, I like Willis too, but don't sleep on Desmond Ridder, man. I mean, 10-inch hands, bro. Like Jesus Christ.
I'll be honest. I really don't rate him at all. Really don't think he's anything. He's just wildly inaccurate at times. He'll spray the ball all around the place. Don't rate him at all. I've got to be honest. That's my opinion. I don't rate him at all.
I don't underestimate teams' love for drafting quarterbacks. That's why I would never rule it out. I mean, teams love to draft their QBs in the first, and I think that's what keeps these guys. Whether you think they are, it's a weak class. You can't ever overlook the fact that teams fall in love with these guys at the combine, and they fall in love with them at pro days.
Now check this out, right? Okay, this kid right here, E.J. Perry. It was a tweet. Somebody snapped a video of him picking up trash left by the other players while he was still there. He was helping cleaning. I'm like, okay, that's a class act. Nobody really had to ask you to do that. You just went ahead and did it on your own. That shows me some kind of a leadership that you see it, you're gonna take care of it. And then he's from Andover.
Jimmy, to one up.
What happened?
Malik Willis, basically, this video of Malik Willis outside the combine giving a homeless man clothes. So that I
didn't even see that one. Okay.
See, look at us now. We're highlighting our favorite players. Going, look how good they are as human beings. But
that's what's up, though.
Yeah, no, of course, yeah. That's why I love this sort of like. Well, by the way, have you seen this guy? Have you seen that guy? If you want my sleeper, though, if you want my sort of sleeper quarterback, Cole Kelly of southeastern Louisiana, I believe it is. Sounds like the middle of nowhere, but he can really push the ball downfield. He's got an arm and a half. I was like, he'll probably go undrafted, but as a priority free agent, damn, he can spin it.
That's what I'm saying. Teams will draft him just off the base of you throwing. Teams will, if you put on a show, these teams will consider drafting you high just by your ability to throw the deep ball.
This is something I was going to ask.
Now check this out.
Go on, Matt.
Go ahead.
No, when you go first, I think you'll tie into what I'm about to say.
Now his grade is a 5.61, right? And they're pretty much saying he's a candidate for a bottom of the roster or a practice squad.
Who's
But
this now?
his hands are like EJ Perry.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's 2'11, 6'2. He has 9-inch hands, and he's from Andover, Massachusetts. So you already know who he's been watching growing up.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just saying, I feel, and they compare him to Alex Smith,
which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. It can be viewed as a knock, but particularly if he's going to be drafted as a backup or developmental player, that's not the end of the world if he can serve as a backup. But what I was going to say is, based on what Ron said as well about if you put on a show at these events, is I spoke to Ryan about this earlier. Is do you think teams? Do you personally, and do you think teams as well? Do you think the combine is overvalued, or do you think too much stock is placed in combine performances?
Before anyone answers that, sorry to jump in. I've put a private chat in. It's 9:25 here in the UK, and it's a school night this end, so I am going to have to shoot off. But once I've put the kids to bed, I will tune in and watch the rest of the show. So before you go down your favourite draft picks, just wanted to say cheers for having me on, gents. Great to meet you finally, Ashley. And Mav, I'm sure we'll continue the Club 85 debate on Twitter. And Ron, I'll be back next week, gents.
Paul, all right, man. Be easy.
Nice to meet you, Paul. Really enjoyed it.
Peace out,
Paul, bud. Thanks for man. Thank you. Just in time.
Yeah. Any opinions on that, anyway?
So, is there too much stock put into it?
You personally, as well, do you think that is as well? Like, do you value like a good performance, or would that persuade you maybe to go, "Oh, damn, I hope we picked that guy up"?
Yeah. Look, so I think there is. Look, so watching Sam Darnold in college. I watched a lot of Sam Darnold in college.
I didn't like him in college.
Dude, he was garbage. He was garbage. And the fact that he went where he went just told me all I needed to know about the draft and the combine. I was absolutely shocked that Sam, what did he go, number 2? So, to answer you, there is a lot,
no, he went
way too much stuff.
Barkley went second. Yeah.
There's a lot. And I'm telling you.
Saquon.
Okay.
Barkley.
So Darnold went 1.
I can't remember that draft. But no, I agree with you on that, man. I mean, you gotta think about it too. Every time I speak, I try to speak based off of like a front office type of guy. Yeah, so it's like I'm looking at the business aspect of the game because I love the game, of course, but I see all these pieces getting moved. I wonder why. I start asking questions. Why is this player is getting sent off while this player that's replacing them is not even better? You know what I mean? It's like you're getting rid of my best player to give me a lower tier player. So I started putting numbers around, started figuring out. Then it hit me with the salary cap. It hit me with the cap space. It hit me with what does this player do that help this team better than that player couldn't do? You know, like the directions they're trying to move in. So yes, they do put a lot of stock into it. So because if I'm an exec out there, I'm trying to find the best attitude to put it within my organization, but at the same time, that has the potential of developing into a Nick Bosa or into, so that's the type of deals I look at. I look at for the underdogs, the guys that nobody's really talking about. Because hell, Tom Brady got snuck in. You know, who would have known that this 6th round guy was gonna win 7 rings for one two different organizations? Nobody knew that. So yeah.
And it doesn't just start at the NFL level, though. It starts in high school. It's in college, and then it goes into the NFL, where there's a couple of things too. It's some owners draft like fans. They want to draft the fastest, the strongest, the guy that benches the most, and like Al Davis, Jerry Jones. They were notorious for drafting like a build-a-mode character on Madden. That's who they went for. That's who they still go for.
Yeah, that's why Raiders draft through speed. As all these receivers going under 4-3 in the draft, they must be like, damn, the expensive draft picks on receivers. I can't think they are because it's the Raiders. Broncos draft the tallest, whitest quarterback they can. That's the Broncos formula. That's what they do.
Dude, you're 40 can take you from the third to the
like
first.
6'7" and like 6'7", 240. Right, there's like, damn, John Elway's going to draft him in the first round. you know
what, though, Ron? I kind of agree with you. Actually, I do agree with you on that, because when you sit there and be like, it started from high school. Think about how many family members have players that plays in the NFL or know someone that plays in the NFL, and now these organizations are already looking at you, or this specific coach from that organization already knows about you and pretty much had their eyes on you since high school. So I mean, yeah, I see it.
Because like
happen from such a young age.
In high school, it's about like what camps are you at? What Nike camps are you at? Like who are you in front of? And a lot of that has to do with, like, let's be honest, the money. Do you have the money do your parents have the money to put you into these camps? Are you constantly so sometimes these camps don't bring in the best people. They don't bring in the top quarterbacks, like they bring in
Elite 11's classic.
Right. It's just like any other sport.
MVPs. Go, sorry, Ron. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like any other sport, and that's you see it because I coached some football in high school, and you see it a lot. It's like the guys who are at all these Nike camps, Peyton Manning camps, Eli Manning camps, aren't necessarily the best quarterbacks. They probably just have the most, I don't know, resources to put in the prime position to get their names thrown out there. It comes down to marketing. And then it comes down to fan influence as well. Like fans do influence who teams draft sometimes. They do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I was say, Elite 11 is a classic example of that. How many Elite 11 MVPs, like Blake Barnett example, who turned out to be nothing in college, on like how many of those guys, you watch those guys, they don't get invited to one camp. They'll fly across the country to go to another. And I'm like, really? You've got that much money to spend on flights just to get into one camp? Like, it's nuts. Like, I think you probably spot on there. Right?
Chris Winkie, if I'm not mistaken, has a quarterback camp right down the road from me here, like 20 minutes away from me. And Cam Newton. Yeah. Well, yeah. Is it an IMG they do it?
He used to be a coach there, I think.
Yeah. He has a camp. I mean, IMG is literally right down the street, like 20 minutes away from me. You had John Gruden. He had his quarterback camp over there in USF, which is like 30 minutes, 40 minutes down the street from me here. So, I mean, I've seen most of these players like Cam Newton. I've seen him come. Who else was in his draft class that year? Oh, God. I can't even remember, but it's been a lot of different quarterbacks. Yeah, QBs and Cam Newton class, because I mean it was like 4 of them from that class that came down here.
Oh gosh, I couldn't name them, to be honest.
I think the real football players are drafted in the third and on, to be honest with you. Second, third, I think that's when the football players are drafted. I think the first round is for all the freak athletes and stuff like that. Yeah, they pan out sometimes, but
yeah, boomer best of all the time, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why I said I had no problem picking at the 4, 5, 6, and 7s. I don't mind drafting them. I don't.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Yeah, because that's when your scouting department's out there doing their job, and they're out there watching film, and they're out there. These are the guys like Kittle that are football players, and those are these guys they weren't big names coming out of high school, big names coming out of college, but these are the people you can't measure their heart.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I like to watch day 2, day 3. I'm all in on combine. I'm all in on all of that stuff because I know it doesn't start at the NFL level. It starts in high school, Pop Warner, all that.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch the freaking combine yet, so either one of them really, because
I already watched
too busy with family stuff.
I just watched the quarterback highlights, to be honest, because that's what I was really interested in, just to see if anybody stood out from athleticism.
I'm just catching the highlights and the news after
that. Yeah, anytime you want to go, you can go, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm holding you 5 minutes, so you can do whatever you want, man.
Cheers, man. I appreciate that. I'll probably take the chance to shoot off now then. But thanks for having me again, guys.
No problem.
All right, man.
I'll see you next time.
Catch you later.
Very much.
See you later. Bye, guys. Later. Appreciate it, guys.
Yep.
I love those dudes, man. They know their football.
Believe me. Dude, I got hooked on that.
in love with him instantly, bro.
Yep, impressive, man. Good people. What else we got?
Yeah, I got hooked on to them when Nick C invited me onto his podcast because the first time we talked on a space. That's how me and Nick C actually met each other off space. And I go on there talking about how I had my son because I was in the hospital with him, and that's when everything started clicking to me and him. And he started teaching me how to do this stuff. So basically, I got everything into it. So
nice.
Yeah. That's a big story. I'll talk about it later on. But I got some questions. If you guys want to go through them, if you want to, it's up to you. If not, then we just head off to it if you want. It's up to you guys. I'm not holding you
Go
guys.
ahead.
You know.
Yeah,
Okay.
shoot them off.
No problem. First one is, should the 49ers go and try to get one of those fast wide receiver, rookie wide receivers? Sorry, my bad. Rookie wide receivers.
I want to know what Mav has to say about that one. That's really what I want to know what Mav's opinion is on that.
Yeah, Mav.
My opinion on that is wait till later. Focus on that defense and that O-line first. At least the first 5 picks with defense and O-line. Focus on wide receiver later. Unless it's a wide receiver like Christian Watson that falls into a lap. You know what I'm saying? Pair the guy up. Let's do that. If he falls and we ain't got to reach, pair him up with Trey. Bring him along slow like you did. You know, let him. Hey, I don't care even if you start him off at free agency. I mean, not free agency, but special teams first. Start him off there. I'm fine with that. But first 5 picks, I would go with O-line and defense.
Exactly, Mav. You thought about my same thing. I was gonna go for too. I told you wide receiver for me is back in like the fifth, 6th, and 7th. So that's why I go for. So yeah, defensive end definitely I won and hopefully pick the first one. I'm hoping to go for defensive end or defensive tackle. It doesn't really matter, but something to boost that defensive lineup because what's going to happen with D Ford, we don't know what's going to happen with him, and plus if we do get rid of some of the guys for the contracts so we can make money like at Bucom, don't know about Arden Key. You know, all the other guys I can think of right now in my head. But those guys,
they talking about we might not even be able to re-sign DJ Jones. We might not even be able to retain him.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
Like,
I saw that too. Yeah, I saw
like
that too.
He played himself. He financially played himself out of the 49ers game plan, pretty much.
Right into the New York Jets and Miami Dolphins game plan.
Exactly. So now you're looking at Kinlaw to potentially be right where he's at right now, to stay where he's at.
That's another one I'm nervous about. Kinlaw. I'm nervous about Kinlaw. I hope he comes back better than ever. I hope he does.
Dude, we have no choice. I mean, I felt like if we was able to re-sign DJ Jones, then Kinlaw chances of being a 49er would be real slim. He would be on that trading block. But the fact is, DJ Jones pretty much financially played himself out of the 49ers organization. Then, yeah, Kinlaw, I don't see us getting rid of him. We can't.
I don't see a lot of teams had a big red flag on Kinlaw. That's why it surprised me that we picked him up. So we picked him up in the first because of his knee arthritis. He concerns me a little bit. I don't know that he can. I hope I'm wrong, but I think I think you're right. I don't know about Kinlaw, man. I think his knee issue is just like it's a problem.
Couldn't we have picked up AJ Terrell before him?
Yeah, absolutely. We could have picked up, man. There's a reason why teams stayed away from him for a reason. He reminds me of Contavious Street. They came from the same school, and they both had knee issues. I think Contavious had a torn ACL in college, and he fell off the draft boards because of it. I thought he was going to surprise, and no, he had flashy moments, limited flashy moments, but Kinlaw concerns me.
I feel like Kyle really, really go after players that has a specific skill set to play within his system. Like he doesn't give nobody else a chance to come in and learn his system like that. No, you got to have that specific skill set, then it'll work. That I feel like that's his mind frame. That's how it worked, and that's why we shot for Kinlaw instead of someone like AJ Terrell. Or hell, even when we do, I mean, like Derwin James. No, did we have a chance to get him?
Yeah, we did have a chance at Derwin James.
We had a chance to get him. I was pissed. We had a chance to get dude, there was a lot of players we had a chance to get that we just bypassed, bro. Like I'm asking why.
Yeah, I agree. I think Kyle's stubborn, dude, and I think you make a valid point. It's like, dude, go with a damn playmaker, like make it work. You're right. I think he's so focused on getting guys that like do this one specific thing great that fit right into his scheme. And that's what he's stuck on. And we lose out on freaking guys who have the ability to be playmakers because of it.
So would it be fair for me? Would it be fair for me to call Kyle a dictator?
Well,
because I mean, it's his way or the highway, right?
He's a control freak, that's for sure.
Exactly the words I was going to say, Ron. Control freak.
I mean, dude, think about it. You saying you putting the blame on him for holding on Ayuk in the doghouse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've just talked about, and you just agree with me about his motives with his skill set type of players. He doesn't look for those playmakers. He wants people that can come in and run his system. Dude, that sounds like a dictator to me. Like I don't care how good you are. If you can't touch my system, you can't run it. Nah, bro. That's a dictator to me.
Did you follow his father in Washington or no?
Yeah.
Was he like his dad?
Yeah, they had serious issues in Washington. There was constant bumping heads. Not them two, but between his dad and ownership in the front office.
Dude, his dad bumped head with front office everywhere he went. It started with the Broncos, man. Come on, we've seen that.
So basically, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Mav.
You good?
So basically, it reminds you of Harbaugh and Jed, and what's his name?
Bucky.
Bucky.
It was
Bucky.
Bucky.
Yeah, Bucky. Thank you, Bucky. Yeah, it reminds you of that. How their relationships are going.
What made it worse for Bucky is his daughter jumping on Twitter.
I mean,
to me, what made it worse for Bucky was when his daughter jumped on Twitter and started taking crap shoots at the 49ers.
I can't stand Trent Baalke.
Oh, and of course he got. Did he go to another team?
Jaguars. He's a GM over there. I can't believe that either.
Yeah.
I know I saw that right. I'm like, does he this right? Unbelievable, man.
Yeah, he's over.
Yeah, because like, if you think about the people Kyle's handpicked for his specific reasons, let's look at what Dante Pettis, McKinnon. Who else has he handpicked? There's a couple other guys. I want to say he was a combination between him and John on D Ford. So his guys really never work out.
When it comes to offense, I feel like Kyle chooses them.
Yeah. And he doesn't. I just don't think he adjusts. I think it's all right, guys. This is how we're gonna run things, and this is how we're gonna run it, and this is what we're gonna do. And
I can't do the translator; it won't let me do it. So I don't know your first name is. If that's your name, don't know about your name. Sorry.
That looks like spam.
What, SGDFS.
Yeah, I just don't know what it is. I've tried to use the translator, but translator won't work for me for some reason.
Well, DFS stands for Daily Fantasy Sports.
Oh, okay. Right.
Vom.red.
I guess so.
Like
I've seen it before. Yeah, I seen it before.
You see my Twitter handle, Mav813DFS.
Okay. All right. Okay, cool. All right. Thanks for your comment, bud. Thank you. That's all I can say. So, yeah, I mean, me, I miss the hardball days. I really do. I know it's in the past now and it's done, but seriously, them years were awesome, especially with the linebacker crew they had, Bowman and Willis. Oh my God, that was
Harbaugh had a defense.
Yeah, That defense was dangerous. It was dangerous.
you can name more defensive players off that squad than you can any one of Shanahan's defense.
Exactly. Yep.
My favorite on that defense was Deshaun Ghost, and I'll say my two is the safeties, Whitner,
Hittner,
Deshaun Ghost, and
Dante Hittner.
You can't. I don't know that defense. You couldn't really just pick just one, bro. You had, the Smith brothers. You had Brock. You had Bowman. You had Willis. I mean, come on. You see what I'm saying, bro? You couldn't name them. Who can you name like that on the defense? Bosa?
I guess it comes down to the slobber knocking hit highlight videos from those two, dude. Man,
oh my god,
my goodness!
It remind you of some Merton Hanks, Ronnie Lott type combination like that. Then
just chicken dance, good old chicken dance. I can never go to that chicken dance by Merton Hanks.
I'll never forget the hit on early Doucette versus the Cardinals. Deshaun Ghost just cleaned his.
Was it goal or was it Dante Hittner that hit the Saints player? Yeah, that's the one you're talking about.
And then he didn't even know they dropped the.
He's talking about the Deshaun Gholston hit.
Yeah, I'm talking. So, but the one with Hittner was crazy because that dude was out before he hit the ground.
Yeah, he just dropped the ball because he got hit so hard. He went.
And Hittner didn't even realize the ball was out. He was walking to the sideline, and then boom, someone went in and scooped it up. But that, like, you can see. I think it was it. What was that dude's name? Was it Deuce? But yeah, he was out before he even hit the grass. It was crazy. Just cleaned his clock.
They showed that on Twitter a lot with old clips of the 11 and 12 teams, and I tell you, man, dangerous. I wish we were like that.
But it was Deuce McAllister was a guy, yeah.
McAllister.
Oh,
see, nowadays that's a flag.
The Saints. Yeah. He was with the Saints.
Yeah.
That was automatic flag no matter what nowadays.
Yep. Now that's a flag, dude.
That's half distance to where we're at.
Would I be wrong to say the NFL will turn into flag football in the next 25 years?
You can bet on that, man.
Two-hand touch with pads.
It's turned into wrestling, that's for sure. Yep. It's WWE.
Hey, can you imagine telling your grandkids, like, damn, back in my days, football was a little soft, but it was harder than that. What y'all watching nowadays? It ain't nothing. Who's the best
like of the Pro Bowl?
Oh my god, bro!
It's gonna be like the Pro Bowl.
I remember I used to love watching the Pro Bowl, man, because it was football, and I don't know. I think for me, when they changed it to where it's played before the Super Bowl now. Right? It used to be played after. Is it played before?
It was after, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so
Pro Bowl was always the last game of the season. Pro Bowl was until they moved it to between the last game and the Super Bowl.
Which I don't feel like that's fair. I mean, I get it. You got two quarterbacks and two teams that are playing and for the championship. So why not reward the rest of the guys who didn't make it? I get that. But at the same time, it was more fun for me to watch after the Super Bowl, and then I get to actually watch these guys go out there, have their little fun. Like, you could see the combination of who would look right if they paired them together on the same team types. Now it's like, what was it this year?
Vegas?
Was it in LA this year?
I think it was in LA. I think it was in LA. I think
Pro Bowl.
Yeah, Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
No, wasn't it in Vegas?
Because see, when they moved it,
I thought it was in LA myself. I thought it was in LA myself. I thought it was. That way they weren't that far away from the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but see, I thought it was pretty cool when they moved it to Orlando for 2 years, and they started all this captains picking teams, and actually, you know what though, the first Pro Bowl draft was pretty cool. To watch these guys get redrafted all over again, it was pretty cool. It's like sandlot football all over again, and you can tell they have fun out there. It was a different dynamic, but now it's just like do we even care anymore? I mean, do we really want these? Like, honestly, I don't even want these superstars to go to the Pro Bowl anymore.
No.
Throw in some freaking practice squad players, some guys that really want to make the team, you know?
Right.
Like, let me see that, because that's
Have them
actually
play for
going to be a
contracts.
game. Yeah, play for your contract or play for a spot. You know, show us that you deserve to be here. This your shot.
Right?
If we
Some
put you
training
in the
camp
game,
dudes. I like that idea. Some training camp
dude,
dudes.
do that. You feel me? I'm
Get your name
cool
out
with
there.
that.
Yep.
I'm
Get your name
cool
out
with
there.
that.
Yep.
Because
It's like
you
the Senior
actually
Bowl.
get to play. Yes.
Be like the Senior
actually
Bowl. It's
get
your
to play,
opportunity to
man.
get your name. You get to play out there. Hey, like Craycraft goes out there. You see Craycraft do his thing. Hey, he might, get some teams calling. Well,
Like,
I mean, he already won with the Dolphins, but
see, put it this way. Let's say you're one of the players who get drafted into the Pro Bowl. You won the biggest name in the NFL, right? Now, the fans chose you to go, but you get to choose a lesser player from your team to represent you. I think that'll be a fair deal right there. Like, yeah, I played it, but you know what? I get an option to send someone else in my place because I want to relax. I want to take that break because I don't even think they get paid for the Pro Bowl.
Or teams can pick their top practice players, scout players.
That too. Send them. You know, don't even call it the Pro Bowl no more. Just call it like I guess like a little All-Star game or some shit like that. Like, you know, change the whole scenery, change the whole aspect. If you're gonna be Pro Bowl, send them back to Hawaii, or just give me somebody else. Give me players that actually want to play, not players that's already been. Something. Yeah, you know, you've been banged up all season long. Now you ready to, the season over with. I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to relax for like a month or two because I ain't got that much time.
Yeah, you want to go see your kids. You want to be with your family.
Yeah,
and then it was in Vegas this year, and then
so it's in Arizona next year.
Well, I hope it's not in Vegas anymore because football in Vegas
they're supposed to be moving.
A good idea.
They're supposed to be moving it. They're supposed to be moving it from because it was. Yeah, they move it from.
Yeah,
Super Bowl arena. Yeah, because it was in Miami, then Tampa, then LA.
Let's see. It may stay in Vegas. Yeah, it says Pro Bowl 2023 tickets for Las Vegas.
Oh, it's in Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess Arizona's not that far from LA, so no. I could see why.
4-hour drive.
But why would you want to send them guys out there though, man? I mean, that's not a place for them to bring their family and chill like that. You know, you want a vacation, you go out of America for a vacation if you got money like that.
Dude, like you didn't see all this coming when they announced Raiders going to Vegas. You know, I mean, it was just, to me, it's just not a good idea. Camaro just probably threw his career away in one night.
I mean, we still haven't heard too much about it, so it's left to be seen. It's left to be seen.
That's true. I think I heard he beat the guy up pretty bad, but you're right. We haven't seen any videos, any pictures, so it may just, let's be honest. There's people out there trying to extort these guys. So
yeah, and then when you think about it, bro, I don't think it's gonna matter how bad he beat the guy. Really, it's gonna come to the point to where like, is he? Well, when it comes to the NFL, I'm guessing I would say it's not gonna too much matter. It's like he's a stand-up guy. He doesn't get into too much trouble. What caused him to do this? Okay, was it an altercation, right? What was it like? Arguing or something like that?
It was a fight. What I know is that in the NFL, as long as there isn't a video, you're kind of good.
No, but it's pictures, I believe, of him in the bar.
There may be surveillance video that hasn't been leaked yet. TMZ.
But wasn't it about it was about his girl, right?
Yeah, it was, or something like that. Honestly, I don't know all the details, but all I know is that he beat him up pretty bad. So
let me see.
Yeah, we might want to look that up.
Yeah, because I know his girl was involved into it, bro. Like, Alvin and the Chipmunks.
An orbital fracture. All I know is that dude's gonna get paid. Damn, his eye socket.
So you got a Kansas City Chief, Chris Lamans. He's in connection with the case. 2 more arrests involved. Oh, they ain't say nothing yet. Chiefs cornerback, one in a connection with Alvin Kamara beating. So he was just chilling.
And then the thing is that Kamara actually played in the game after the fight.
Yeah, because he was released.
Yeah. So I think I think he punched him up, and then the guy fell and probably cracked his eye socket.
Darren Young and Percy Harris turned themselves in.
I just think the NFL in Las Vegas was never a good idea.
Okay, so it says police says surveillance video shows Kamara and at least 3 other men attacked the victim February 5th at about 6 a.m. They said it shows Kamara punching the man repeatedly before others stumped on the man while he was on the floor at a rooftop nightclub above a casino. Like, I want to know what led to that fight, bro. Like,
right,
for real. Before I actually start saying anything about this, man.
I think pretty sure what I heard was about something about a girlfriend or something, some kind of girl.
I thought it had something involved with his girl in there or something. He faces a single charge of felony battery, resulting in substantial body harm, and he was released on bond. Yeah, his career is not over.
Because I know he came out of the elevator, and that's when everything started.
Yeah, because it's not domestic violence or anything like that. So
no, it's just gonna be what prompts you to do it. Yeah, we still gonna give you some kind of suspension, fines and stuff like that. But if the law doesn't find him too guilty to where he has to spend jail time and stuff like that, then I don't believe the NFL will do anything drastic. Maybe suspend him. What the most drastic thing they might do, I believe, is suspend him for like just a season, until this whole thing is over with.
He might get 4 games.
I'm just saying drastically. Yeah. I mean, we've seen we look at Deshaun Watson. Yeah, he didn't even play none whatsoever. We've seen that happen before. Michael Pittman, he had a domestic violence charge against his old lady. I mean, he really trying to kill her, running his car into his, but
try to run her over, right?
Yeah, like he literally ran. I think he ran his car into her car, got out, jumped over, trying to go beat her up.
Yeah, I think you're right. I probably should have read up before I even, but it sounds bad, conspiring to commit battery. So I think he may still play this year. Now that you look really into it.
Yeah, it all comes down to what prompted the fight, and the other 2 men, Darren Young and Percy Harris. I don't know them, so they most likely are Kamara's friends or something like that. So I'm pretty sure they're finna take most of that rap, because Kamara's only facing 1 charge, bro. He's only facing 1 charge out of the whole ordeal.
Mm-hmm. I don't think the Saints release him either.
If it was that bad, he would have been cut.
Yeah, because they would have immediately released him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they want to release him because somebody else is just going to scoop him up.
Yeah, they're not stupid. But yeah, man. So what we doing? We're doing like a live draft thing on here or what?
We should, yeah, we should. Do a mock draft, right?
No, I'm talking about we can do the real draft.
Oh, do the real thing, like
when it comes on. When is it? The April.
April. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we gotta line that up to start getting ready to have everybody on here draft night. At least who said something about the second round? Was that Drew, or was it you?
Probably me. What about it?
No, you said you rather do it. Somebody said you rather do it on the second day because that's when we pick.
Yeah, because we don't have, as of right now, we don't have anything in the first. So I think we could do it. Well, that'll be a Friday.
I don't want to miss that first round.
The pick for us in the second round, third round. I think it's third round, right? Our first
second.
Okay, second. Now, what day is that on?
Friday
night. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the 61st pick.
Okay.
So that puts us literally towards the back end.
And what time? What time does it start? Do you know, guys?
I think 6:30, huh?
Yeah, usually starts around 6.
Oh God.
It's Thursday, April 28th, and Saturday, April 30th.
Well, you don't think we're gonna be able to do it?
Right? No. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about the time wise because I try to put my kids to sleep. That's the only thing I try. As long as my daughter goes, I'm hoping my daughter goes to sleep early, but I don't know if she will. That's the problem. That's when I don't know about our pick. When our pick will be coming up. What part of the hour?
Our pick is 61st, but the fact that we pulled a trigger last year from 12 to 3, that was draft night. Nothing was done before then. So I'm almost certain and positive that Kyle and John will pull some string like that on the first day and be back in the first round. Even if they trade back out of it, they just want to get that so they can show people that they, you know what I'm saying?
So you're saying the first pick in that first round is gonna be on Thursday, right?
Yeah, well, we do know the Niners are active on draft day, especially day one. We've seen it.
Yeah,
so.
It's gonna be tough for me, fellas. Tough for me to do that. That's on Thursday. I work on Thursday nights. I'm sorry to say about that, guys. Sorry, I really am.
No, you good. You good. I mean, it's in April, anyways. It's next month, anyway. So we got plenty of time to make arrangements if we need to.
Yeah. If it's on Thursday, it'd be tough for me because I work at night. But Friday, perfect. That's perfect. I just, hopefully my kids will go sleep by themselves without me helping them. Not always. But yeah. But I'm perfect on Friday if we land there for our first pick. But I don't mind seeing our first pick being live on here. That'd be amazing to do that. I've never done it before. That'd be cool. Now, I don't know if you guys want to stream it or you guys just want to watch it from your respective homes and just watch the reactions from all of us and watch our TVs as we're watching us.
Well, we were talking about streaming it though.
Because we can talk about all the other picks.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. We were talking about being live while it goes down, so we can actually talk about.
So you're saying being live on here? Be live on here with the actual draft?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you guys know a place without getting flagged? That's the one I'm worried about. The only thing I'm worried about is copyright shit. Excuse my language. Sorry.
Copyright what?
If we stream
he's talking about the stream itself. We might not be able to stream it because it might have a copyright. NFL might have a copyright law to it, to where you can't show it. Yeah, or no, YouTube might be the reason. They might be the one that, like, you can have it on. You can stream it. You just can't show what's happening, like games and stuff. You usually see.
Yeah, I just want to get flagged for it. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about now, Ron? You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
Yeah, I
didn't want to get if we stream it on here, I just want to get flagged for it. If it's flagged, the video is done. The video is done. So that means our video is done, and I don't know if it may punish us for a whole 24 hours or what, but I don't know how that rolls out with that. I can read up on that too about the punishment. I mean, they just might just flag the full video and remove the whole video from the stream, and then start another one up. So
well, I mean, we can all watch it from our house, I guess.
Yeah. I had no problem doing that. I just don't know how you guys want to do it by on our TVs or watch it on here.
Gotcha.
That's
what
I
get
saying.
you. Yeah.
So that's the last thing I want to do is get flagged. And then all of a sudden, we have no friggin'. We're not online. We're done. So,
yeah.
But I have no problem doing it as long as we don't get flagged on it, man. I had no problem doing it. I just had to know where to go. Get everything going for us. Man, that'd be awesome though. Watch the draft pick. That'd be cool.
I didn't even realize what time it was, man. But I'm finna get on out there and go pick up my son from work.
All right,
gentlemen.
All right, guys.
It's always a pleasure.
No problem.
All right,
guys.
Yes,
later,
man.
Later on. Okay. All right, Ron. Take it easy, bud. Okay, we are back, and I'm gonna do this right. I want to thank you all. I know you probably can't see my hands because my green screen's all messed up. So, but I want to thank you all very much. I hope you can hear me with my kids. But I want to thank you all very much for. Sorry, here you go. I want to thank you all very much for coming on here and watching the replay, whatever you do, watch it. Coming on and watching the Red and Gold 24/7 podcast. And I definitely want to thank the guys from the UK. That is Paul and definitely Ashley. And definitely a shout out to Nick W. Hope you get better, but feel better, right? Feel better, bud. All right. Feel better. So, and of course, I want to big shout out definitely to my guys. All right. My fellas, my brothers. How you want to call it. But definitely shout out to the guys we're on here tonight. That's Maverick and Ron. And of course, I want to give a shout out to Chuck, Mike, Drew, and Peter. All right, guys. So I hopefully definitely see you tomorrow night. Hopefully you guys be available tomorrow night. We'll be back live at 9 p.m. Eastern. All right. So I want to thank you all very much for your time, your availability, everything. And definitely thank you for the only comment we had was Nick W. All right. Later on, Nick, but I hope you feel better, right, bud? All right. So basically, I'm doing this. You know how I'm doing it. So we're going to be out of here as soon as possible. All right. We will see you on the other side, guys. We'll see you tomorrow night. We'll be live. All right. All right. Later, guys. Keep the faith. Never lose hope. We're out of here, guys. Later.